Hello, everyone, and welcome to our webinar today. Thank you for your patience as we were getting set up. Sometimes the internet doesn't always work as we want it to here, so we're just getting started. Hopefully everyone can see on our screen the Social Selling and Recruiting webinar. My name is Libby Hoppe. I am a Director of Field Success here at Pampered Chef. You may see the name Doreen Grass. That is not who is leading this webinar. We are just logged in as Doreen today. So, Jackie?
Yes, hi everyone. Again, thank you so much for your patience. It's funny because today is Founders Day here at the home office and they're having lunch, so all of our tech people are enjoying lunch, but we're so excited to be here with you today to talk about social selling and recruiting. So just really quick, all about today is going to be how to create your own content to help you sell in your parties, but also how to leverage social media to sell outside of the party. If I haven't met you before, my name is Jackie Blust, and I am the Field Success Manager here at Pampered Chef.
And like I said, I'm Libby Hoppe. I'm the Field Success Director. Pictured on the screen here, you'll see me and my two kids. Not pictured is my husband. You're going to be seeing more of my kids in today's presentation when we talk about authenticity, because my kids are pretty much my life. My husband is always taking the picture, so he is not in this picture, but I'm raising two girls, 8 and 3, so those are a few details about me.
Awesome. And unlike Libby, I did include a picture of my husband because I sometimes have a tendency to forget about him sometimes. But so anyways, what we plan to cover today is we're going to be talking about why authenticity is important to social selling and recruiting. We're going to go into how you can make marketing imagery work for you, how you can create your own authentic content from that, and then some tips about how to be authentic to your brand. Then we'll do some wrap up, and then we'll answer some questions at the end if there is time. So you've probably heard the word authentic a lot. And if you were at National Conference, we talked about it a lot there. And so we talked about what does authenticity mean. And it means of undisputed origin, genuine. It's true to one's own personality. And that's what people are looking for today in social media and also the brands that they're following. So what does that mean for your business? It means that you are your own true, genuine self, and you can do that by keeping things simple, real, speaking from the heart, and making it your own. So why does this matter so much? As I just said, customers relate best to a real user of the product or brand. And it's the reason why so many brands today are looking for social influencers. So as consultants, you are our social influencers. By being yourself in the business, you're building trust, you become a reliable source, and a testament to the product, which ultimately leads to loyalty with your customers. It's the reason why they buy from you. Plus, social media, whether you're using Facebook or Instagram, they want you to be authentic, a real user. And this really helps us to align to the Facebook community standards. So what does authenticity look like in social media? In the most basic form, it's when you share photos or videos of yourself using products in real life, just like Claudia is doing here. So now let's take a look at two other examples. And these are pulled from actual consultants. For times when you don't have the actual product, using photos or images from marketing imagery is a great place for you to start. And if this is what you aspire to do, but you just don't know where to start, we're about to jump in and cover that today. And if you're on this call and you do this already, don't worry. We have tips to help you elevate what you're doing as well.
So, authentic content, where to start? And for those of you who might have jumped on the webinar late, even though it says Doreen Grass is speaking, this is Libby Hoppe. I'm the Director of Field Success at home office, just so there's no confusion. And I'm going to be spending a little bit of time here walking you through developing authentic content for social selling, as well as social recruiting. And one thing I want to mention is this is a webinar about social selling and recruiting. And the way we view social selling and recruiting is being able to connect with customers or consultants in and outside of parties. So, of course, virtual parties is one of the areas where you're going to be doing this, but we think there's ways that you can connect and create authentic content on your social media platforms and profiles within parties and without. So we're going to kind of talk about that in the two areas today. So when we talk about where to start with authentic content, we like to start with marketing imagery, because for us, it's one of the key things that we offer at home office that helps you start to develop your brand and develop content that you'll be sharing on your social media channels. So start with marketing imagery. How do you do that? When you start with marketing imagery, when you go to Consultants Corner and you click into marketing imagery, you see a lot of options for where you can find images. One of the things we rolled out earlier this year is a new look to marketing imagery as well as new functionality. So one of the key pieces of the functionality in marketing imagery is what we call the Featured This Month section. So when you first go to marketing imagery, this should be the first thing you see. What we're trying to do for you each month is surface what might be relevant to your business in a given time period. So we share some of the key images and or videos you might want to use in a given month. Now, a lot of the images are already in marketing imagery, are already searchable, but we're surfacing the ones for you in a given month that we think might be important for you to create content during that given month that feels really relevant to your customers and to maybe your VIP networks. The other thing that we did when we made changes to marketing imagery, as well as when we planned for the fall-winter season, is provide more blank images. So I see a few of you saying yay for blank images. One of the things we talked a lot about at National Conference that Jackie has mentioned is that the key to authentic content and what Facebook community standards are demanding from people is that you're not posting repetitive content. And so what we try to do is share images that you can share directly to your networks, but we also give you, for many of those images, a blank version. So one easy way to see the kind of blank images that we have developed for you here at home office that you could use in a given month is in the search bar in marketing imagery. You can just search the word blank. What's going to show up are more of the images that look like the bottom one, where you might have pictures from home office, but there's space for you to edit the images on your own. One of the things that we're going to do today is walk through some of the editing apps that you might want to try. So that'll be really fun. But we wanted to go ahead and surface for you the fact that we are trying to provide more imagery that can help you create more authentic content. Once you find the images you want to be downloading them and saving them for editing. So quick tip that I like to share is have a folder on your phone or on your desktop computer that might be organized by month, or you can just save blank images there. Some sort of folder that helps you organize the images that you want to be editing in a given time frame for your business. And then finally, we're going to customize those images with editing apps. And that's where we're going to spend quite a bit of time here in the middle of our webinar talking through some of those editing apps and how to create authentic content to help with social selling and recruiting. So, editing apps overview. If you want to just write in the chat so I can see what are some of the editing apps you all are using today, if you are using editing apps. And if you're not, that's okay. I see a lot of Canva coming in, which is great, because one of the things we're going to cover today is Canva. However, I want to show you all a few additional apps that you might want to consider if you're using Canva. Another one we're going to talk about today is called Over. And if you haven't looked at Over, it might be a good one for you to look into. And then we're also going to talk about WordSwag. I'm going to be going through demos of each of these editing apps for you today. Looks like many of you are familiar with Canva. I'm going to talk through some of the features, advantages, benefits of the different editing apps, and also show you some examples of what you can create using them. Sound good? All right. I'm going to start with Over. And for many of you, if you aren't using editing apps yet, this will be a great overview. For some of you who are already using editing apps, I'm hoping this just introduces you to a few new ideas or gets you thinking about what you could be doing. Over as an app is great for all social platforms. So many of you are probably sharing a lot of this content on Facebook within your virtual parties, your VIP groups. Over is also great for Instagram. Instagram is the fastest growing social media channel today and great for marketers like yourselves. Over is also great because it has a lot of templates. Over also has a really robust how-to guide that I'm going to show you in the demo. It also has an excellent search function. It's easy to upload images and videos to the app. You have the ability to share images and creations with teams, which this is kind of unique about the Over app. You can actually invite other people on your team, for example, to be able to see the files and the images that you're creating within the app, and then you can save projects directly to the app or to your phone. So from a recruiting standpoint, one of the key things that we wanted to show you today is how to take that blank image and create one that looks more like this. So I'm going to play a demo for you, and I'm going to walk you through what you're seeing on the screen in the demo. Okay, so I have it on my phone. There's my girls. I just opened the Over app. As you start scrolling, there's lots of how-to guides on the app. It's a great place if you haven't, Over is a good place to start if you haven't been using editing apps because it'll show you and give you some tips of what you could be doing. Once you get into the Over app, you can go, it connects right to your photos where you can start to look at photos you already have saved to your phone. I happen to already have the image of the kits saved to my phone, and so it pulled it up immediately. I clicked on it, and it's super user-friendly. It has the size that I already wanted for a social media post. The first thing I did is I want to add text to it. I want to show that this is an anniversary offer. So that's the first thing I do. I just start typing anniversary offer. Most editing apps have a lot of built-in functionality for different types of fonts. So I put the standard font on the screen, and then I just start scrolling through to see what other options are available to me. Looking for a font that feels like an anniversary font. Not yet, not yet. There we go. I decided to go with this one at first because it felt like it was demonstrating what I really wanted to show, which is this is a one-time, limited-time offer. Finally, or next, I wanted to show what one of the big benefits of our kits this month is, which is the price, that you can get all of the things in the first image for only $39. I got this inspiration for what to put on my image from the home office image that was provided in marketing imagery. I could have used the image in marketing imagery, but I wanted to edit this and make it feel more like me. So I added that text, and when I was done, I hit the yellow check mark in the upper right-hand corner. I wanted to add more text, so I just hit the text button again and started typing some of the additional text that I want to put on the image. Only $99 this time. Only one exclamation point. I put it on top of the second kit image, hit the yellow check mark button in the upper right-hand corner to save it. And then I add my last piece of copy that I want to add to the top of the image that I want to put over my image, which is the name of the app comes from what you're adding on top of or over an image. Only $1.99. I like it, but the point of a lot of these editing apps is to try to grab attention right away, right? And so one of the things I started to look at is I went into the graphics area and started to search Aero. Now it's bringing up a lot of different graphics. I scrolled through, found a blue arrow I liked, and just use my finger on my screen to pinch and zoom. There, perfect. When I look at it now though, anniversary offer didn't seem to stand out as much as I would want it to for my followers on social media. And so I decided to play with it a little bit and see what else I can do. I wanted a font that felt a little more bold than what I had before. Again, so if someone is scrolling through Facebook or Instagram, I might be able to draw their attention there. I like that font better, and I want to kind of make it stand out in a color. Perfect. I hit the arrow, right-hand corner, and then there's a small export button. You can export directly to social media, or as I did there, I just saved it directly to my phone. That took about 2 minutes for me to create a customized, authentic piece of content around our kits for me to share on my social media outlets.
Before we hop into our next demo, I know there was a couple questions that came up that I just wanted Libby to answer. So can you share which ones you can do on your phone versus desktop, and then which ones are free?
Yep, great question. So all three of the apps I'm going to show you today have both free and paid versions. So one of the things I like about Over is there's a lot of functionality available even in the free version. Those of you using Canva, I imagine many of you are using the paid version of Canva, and we're going to talk about that in a little bit. But I like that there is so much capability within the Over app. In terms of it being available for a PC, that's a great question. I've been using my phone exclusively for almost 10 years to share to my social media outlets, so we're going to check in on that and we'll follow up with you on if Over and the other apps are available by desktop. Great question.
Yeah, Canva definitely is. So that's an option.
Great. But yes, all of these apps have a free version. So the ones I'm showing you today, the demos I'm showing you from my phone, I didn't pay anything for them. They're free, and I have the apps on my phone. Okay, the next one I'm going to show you today is WordSwag. WordSwag is a little bit different from Over in that WordSwag is really great for quote graphics. Again, for all platforms. Any social media platforms you would want to share to, there's kind of built-in sizes that are perfect, whether it's an Instagram story or an Instagram post or a Facebook post. Great size options in WordSwag. WordSwag also has an excellent library of images built in. Think of WordSwag as sort of like a Pinterest lover's dream in terms of when you search quotes, you can find images and they already have built-in quotes that could be good, and it's really simple and easy for you to build an image basically from scratch. You can also use your own images and upload them to the platform just like you can for Over or Canva. Really easy search function, various sizes for all of the images, a variety of font options, which I really like, and you can save to your phone and share directly to social media. So WordSwag, again, is known for adding awesome text to your photos in seconds. And so I'm going to show you with a quick demo today how I created the image you see here. Again, from a recruiting perspective, one of the key things you could do from content to create authentic content to grab someone's attention is to speak to them directly. And that's what I'm trying to do with this quote post. Take a chance, but on yourself this time, right? If I was scrolling through Facebook or I was scrolling through Instagram, this would stop me, right? And the caption, the additional content that you write associated with this post would be really important. What does that mean? You can tell the story of how you took a chance on yourself. You can tell the story of the anniversary offer this month. But again, much of the goal here through social selling, recruiting, or just social marketing overall is to grab attention. So let's do a quick demo of WordSwag. So WordSwag's available on my phone. I open it up, and it starts to load. WordSwag's pretty simple. There's really 3 key options. You can access your camera if you wanted to take a photo. There's a library of images available, or a library of images that you've uploaded, or you can start to search free photos. I start by searching free photos. And you'll see I start to scroll through, and there's a variety of images available to you. I go into the search bar and start to search. Fall. It's fall. It's October. What images might work for fall? I scroll down and I'm just trying to find something that I think captures my attention. I grab this photo. I had no crop because this is kind of the standard image and I can crop once I upload it into a different outlet. You double tap on the text to change the text, and that's going to take me into the font function. You can change the style of the font, and once you come in here, you're able to type in whatever you want. It says custom at the top. That's where you can delete what they have already and type in your own quote. There's also quotes built into WordSwag. So where it says classics, so true, stay hungry, those are types of quotes where you can just grab quotes already built into WordSwag. But for me, I wanted to do something that felt authentic and real to me. So I just deleted the text that was there and typed, "Take a chance on yourself this time." Now, if you follow a lot of social media outlets like I do, you'll notice the style of the WordSwag posts that I'm building right now seems very modern and on trend. These types of posts are really popular right now, and I like that all of the kind of built-in trends associated with these kind of quotes are already built into this app. I don't even have to think about it. So you'll notice I'm scrolling through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different options for what this font could look like on top of the image, and I liked this one, so I paused here. Then I kind of went into the color options. So I'm going through colors, black, gray, light gray, white. You'll notice if you keep scrolling right, there are options that say Pro. Those are the types of things that you can unlock if you have a Pro version or you pay for a version of this app. Everything that you're seeing on my demo right now is available free to me and free to you. Okay, I did an inversion, didn't really like that, changed it back. And then I decided to start playing with the image itself. So you can brighten the image, you can make them lighter, you can make them less light. And I kind of landed right here. I liked that. Once I did it, I hit save and you could share. The picture was successfully saved to my camera roll, but I could share also directly to Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Tumblr, by email, etc. You can also add your own logo or animate your text. Some of these features are only available if you have a paid version of WordSwag. What I like about WordSwag, different from Over or different even from Canva, which we're going to talk about next, is that it's really focused on the font, right? The words, adding awesome text to your photos in seconds. All right, any questions come in, Jackie, while we were doing that demo?
I think, again, for those that have a desktop only and don't have the most user-friendly phone, Libby's going to be doing the Canva demo next, and Canva definitely you can do from either one. So that may be the one for you if using your phone is not the best option.
Yes, great. I see somebody saying you're trying WordSwag and it's asking you to try the Pro version. I just exited out of that, and I didn't seem to get asked it a lot, but you don't have to pay for the Pro version, but you might be prompted to pay for the Pro version if you're trying to access features that aren't available on the free version. All right, next we're going to talk about Canva. So when I first asked how you all were using, what you all were using right now to do editing, you said Canva. So for many of you, this is probably repeat, or you're very familiar with this app, or you're already using it. So let's talk through some of the benefits of an app like Canva. First, there's templates galore. Canva is not even necessarily just for social media. You can do flyers, you can do business cards. Canva is the original graphic design app. So what they basically said was, you don't need InDesign to be a designer. We're going to create an app and a desktop app that makes it easier for you to be a designer. And so because of that, they've developed this great set of templates and a library of images and designs that are really easy to use. All the designs that you do are saved directly to the app, so you can access them there. And there is a fantastic variety of already built-in designs to choose from. But you always have the ability to customize. I would say you do kind of have limited options with Pro without Pro from my perspective. So the free version of Canva does have some limitations on what you're able to do. You can save to your phone directly, share directly to social, and of course, save your projects within the app. So generally speaking, Canva is a really good platform because it's been around for a long time. It has over 10 million users. It's used all over the world. And I would say it's kind of the preeminent app for editing. So another idea for recruiting, I made this image here using Canva. Another idea for social recruiting, for example, is what I like to call the open-ended images questions. So I see this a lot in Instagram stories where you can create an image where you're essentially asking your followers to ask you anything. Ask me what it's like to be a Pampered Chef consultant. Ask me what it's like, ask me what your team looks like. Ask me what support you have. So I see a lot of these ask me anything posts. So that's an idea for another thing you could be doing is you're creating your authentic content to drive some sort of conversation with your followers. Again, the goal when you're editing these images is to say, what can I create that's going to grab attention and that's going to make someone become interested in learning more from me. So I'm going to show you how I did this quick image within Canva on the demo. So here we go. There's my kids again, opening Canva. Quick note, you'll notice at the start, I have probably, 15 different editing apps on my phone. So I've tried a lot. I use my phone pretty exclusively as opposed to a desktop, but we'll look into if these options are available by desktop. But again, there's lots of options out there for you. So we're showing you 3 today that we think could benefit your business, but there's certainly more options out there for you. When you log into Canva, there's lots of options. Again, poster, Instagram. You can make a logo, business card. I decided to just go Instagram post. And as you start scrolling through, these are already design templates created for you. And this is what makes Canva really unique, right? So they have designers who have actually created these things and partner with Canva to provide these designs for you. Very similar to the other apps we went through, you go in and usually you start editing the copy right away. So here I said, ask me anything. Now in reality, I probably wouldn't use this image as a Pampered Chef consultant because those aren't Pampered Chef products, but I just wanted to show you one that I thought was kind of attention grabbing or something you could do. You could upload your own photo, also a Pampered Chef photo, and start editing your own copy on a photo that you upload to the app. I edited the copy and said, ask me anything. I kind of changed the font around, but I liked the original one. And I'm just really trying to be creative. I'm seeing what feels like it works for me. What do I think is going to draw the attention of my followers and my network? I didn't like the extra copy, so I just deleted it. Delete element. And then you can move the copy around if you want. Now, one of the things to note about Canva in its free version is that there's a lot of branding on the free version of their designs that say Canva. So if you look closely on the screen, you'll see that on some of the elements on the demo, it says the word Canva. If you have the pro version, none of those little branding images or none of those little branding sayings will come through. But on the free version, you have to be careful about exactly how much is going to say Canva. Easy peasy, save as image, and it's going to save to my phone. At first, it asked me, do I want to purchase the premium elements to get the Canva branding off it? I said no this time. Preparing my design, saving to my phone, and then you can go to your home page of Canva or keep editing. So that was a pretty basic version of Canva. Many of you are using Canva. And so you probably have developed some templates of your own and some tips and tricks of your own. And I encourage you to share those with your team members, right? What are some of the images that you're using that has worked well for you?
So one question has come in that maybe we can quickly address from Nancy Francis. And so there's a question about organization, meaning like, do you create one big folder that you put all your virtual party stuff in, or do you have recommendations around that?
Yeah, everyone's different in terms of how they like to stay organized. I personally like to keep everything right on my phone. And so after images save directly to my phone, I will go in and organize them into folders in my phone. So for example, if I had a number of recruiting posts for October, I would probably set up a folder that said October recruiting. Now, if I didn't have that many recruiting posts, I might just go in and say October. Month by month is a pretty easy way for me to think through how to promote because, you know, we've talked to a lot of consultants where throughout a given season, they might update what they're doing a little bit each month, but they have something that could work for the season. So for example, I might have a fall-winter folder, then I might have maybe just a fall folder, and then I would go even closer, narrower in and do an October folder. Folders work well for me. I think everybody has different ways that they organize their assets, their digital assets, but folders typically are easiest for me, and I have a system for that. So one thing I wanted to mention is that the 3 images that I just showed you that I created on those different apps, they all kind of looked and felt a little different. So I probably wouldn't do that. I wanted to show you all some variety, but one of the most important things to remember as you are kind of developing a presence on social media is being authentic to your brand. If any of you were at National Conference, I did a session on what building a brand looks like, and I just wanted to touch on that briefly because I think it's important as you start to create more authentic content and customize the content you create, it's important to remember that consistency is really important. So consistency and brand go hand in hand. And by the way, building a brand doesn't have to be something where you create, you know, a whole plan for how you're going to do it. There's just a few key questions you can answer right at the start. And so hopefully, those of you who are on the webinar today, you can start thinking through a few of these things. One is, what is your purpose, right? So if I were a Pampered Chef consultant, I work at Pampered Chef Home Office, but if I were a Pampered Chef consultant, I think one of the key things for me is I have 2 young kids at home, right? And my biggest struggle is dinner time and getting healthy dinners on the table for my kids quickly. And I think that I'd be in a pretty good position. It would feel very authentic to me to be sharing with other people how they could do the same, how they can get healthier dinners on the table for their kids in a shorter amount of time. That's authentic to me, and that's my purpose because it's what I'm going through on a daily basis, right? Second, what's your tone of voice? In addition to the images I created, the captions that you create along with your images are super important. And tone is the way you make people feel. Do you want to make people feel happy? Do you want to make people feel energized? Do you want to make people laugh, right? I'm not typically a very funny person. And so I don't have a lot of jokes probably I wouldn't have a lot of jokes, or I wouldn't be very humorous, but humorous is a choice. You can be humorous, and that can help build your brand. Then your visual presence. I definitely think that before you go in and start creating in all these different platforms, that you have a general idea of what you want your visual presence to be. Are you more of a black and white kind of person? Do you like lots of colors? Do you feel really energized by the color pink? Do you love the idea of a white and marble kitchen? Are you more all about blues and oranges? A visual presence is just basically creating an idea in your head of what you want all of your social media presence to look and feel like, okay? And then finally, think about how you can share your everyday real life to stay humanized as a business. These are sort of foundational to how you create authentic content, how you build your brand on social media, and how you really kind of put yourself out there so that your social recruiting and social selling and virtual party efforts feel very unique to you. So finally, your brand is really, there's this area over here which is how you see yourself, and then there's this outside area over here where how others see you, and right in the middle of that is your personal brand. So I would challenge you all to kind of think through what it is, what you want to convey. What is your purpose? What is your tone of voice? What is your visual presence? And do you feel like you're sharing the real everyday you?
Thank you, Libby. I think those are great demos. Now, I know some of you may feel the same way as me. Like my head could be spinning like, oh my gosh, I want to go out there and try all of this. And we know it's going to take time to create your own customized content. And our recommendation is don't try to tackle it all at one time, and really prioritize where you should spend time on creating customized content. So right now, prioritize how you can share the business. We have this amazing anniversary offer, and this is the time for you to really spend some time, like Libby said, creating that eye-catching content that's going to grab your customer's attention. But next, if you're ready to try other areas of how to create content, think about the topics your guests and hosts are already thinking about. And we do have a tool to help you with that. So if you haven't done so already, you'll want to check out the seasonal marketing calendar. And you can find this in marketing imagery if you use the search function, and that will pop up. And what you'll see when you see that image is you're going to see that at a glance, that September through February. And then once you open up and download that marketing calendar, each month will have its own page of ideas. So you can see here for October, you'll see things that are happening at Pampered Chef, like holiday gift sets are available on October 1st, the Enrichables launch, when the holiday season officially begins, what are some big important holidays. We have Thanksgiving Canada on here, National Donut Day, our anniversary, Halloween, and so forth. Plus, there's also other things that are just of customer interest this month, meaning apples, baking, and so forth. And we even give top hashtag suggestions for those on Instagram that really want to be able to add that to their posts. So let's see what it looks like when someone takes that seasonal marketing calendar and they're also taking that customized content together into action. So here's an example of someone who's promoting the holiday gift sets that are available October 1st. They took a quick photo of the product, and if you didn't notice, they added in their own little prop of the skeleton hand. So the other thing they also did was they're using the product at home. Again, that is the best way to show authentic content, is use the products, make recipes, and snap photos as you're doing them. And then third is took that blank imagery that was available in marketing imagery and really built their own content around that, meaning cute font to show the product name, the price, and what's included. And if you, I know the text is really small, but there's really a lot of personality that's even added into the post. You know, they're saying, a sale so amazing, people are dying to get their hands on it. And there's a call to action, and it says, DM me to order, so direct message me. So you'll want to remember this. The content you provide is that first step. Asking for the direct message is not only a way to close the sale, but it's that opportunity for you to build a relationship with that customer. So think about how you can not only go for the sale, but also provide a service. So do you have a recipe or tip to share about this set? Like, obviously this person's made it, maybe they have some great decorating tips, or they can just rave about the gingerbread recipe that came in the Use and Care. Then you're going to want to, in that direct message, also find an opportunity to get to know that customer. You can ask simple questions like, is this a gift? Or is it for you and your family? That can really start to get to know the customer. Like, they have kids at home, or maybe they have a special niece or nephew or grandchild that they're thinking of. You can also ask questions like, hey, who are you cooking for at home? You just never know where these conversations will lead you to. This could be your next VIP customer, next month's host, or even your next team member. So let's recap what we learned today. So first and foremost, it's so important that you are authentic, genuine, and the real you when it comes to social selling. This will lead to customers trusting you, believing you, and know that you are a reliable resource, and that's how they become loyal to you. Essentially, they want to buy from you, not just Pampered Chef. Because of the ever-changing Facebook community standards, it's best to create your own content as much as you can. It can be simple as sharing a photo of the products in your own kitchen, or start using the blank post and marketing imagery to create your own customized content. And remember, these editing apps are your friend. So today we showed you Canva, Over, or WordSwag, and we showed you all of the free versions of those. For those of you on desktop, we know that Canva works on both desktop and phone, so that is important for you to know. And then you also want to continue to think about and start crafting. What is your personal brand? What does that look like? What does that feel like? And how can you make sure you're that consistency that Libby talked about and carry that through? And last, don't try to tackle this all at one time. You know, this is going to be an evolution for you. Prioritize what's most important, and remember to use that seasonal marketing calendar for inspiration. All right, so we have a little exercise for you. And so this is something that we would love for you to do after your webinar today. So we want you to think about how you would develop your own social post promoting the special kits for October. So now we're at the midpoint month. So how can you create urgency with 15 days left in the month? How can you share the benefits of being a consultant? And why should someone join your team? So I want you to write down some ideas, keeping the focus on authenticity and how you can share this in your parties and on your platforms this month. So we'll just pause for one quick second so you can capture that down.
Yeah, get all those ideas down. Hopefully we created some potential ideas for you during the webinar today. So maybe I'll start the video now too, Jackie, in case there's any questions that people would like to ask.
Oh yeah, for sure. And one last thing that we said is we would love to hear from you too, especially if you have to hop off early or anything. Just based on what you learned from the webinar today, we would love for you to add in the chat, like what's one thing that you're going to try that's new or different that you learned? Yep.
And then we have about 10 minutes left, I think, in the webinar, where we can take some specific questions. It's hard to see them often in the webinar chat. Go ahead and share with others some ideas for what you want to do. But if you have a specific question, you can put it in the Q&A section, and we can focus there. So a couple questions did come in that I want to address right from the start, which is, does Instagram have issues with the selling on their platform, or are there certain phrases that could potentially get you in trouble from like a comment or DM me or that type of thing? The reality is, the more authentic your content sounds and feels, then the less concern you should have. Instagram is owned by Facebook. Okay, so I think that we all have to keep in mind that those community standards and the guidelines that have certainly been rolling out on Facebook are just a goal overall with social media platforms, and that they want to make sure that it's real people who are sharing on their platforms and not robots, bots, or spammers. The reality is, you're not spammers. You're running a business, so the first thing is I would set up business pages. Often be sharing these things from your business pages or business account on Instagram. That's going to help you because that signals to Instagram or Facebook that you are a business. And so sometimes businesses speak differently than humans do. And so that's my first piece of advice. The second piece of advice in terms of the actual language that you use is that as long as it feels authentic to how you would speak, like, hey, send me a direct message and would love to share more with you. That feels more authentic than DM me for more details, right? How would you say something to a friend? That's probably how you should start to phrase it in your captions. That's often how I think. If I was sitting here talking to a friend, what would I say? And that's really how I try to approach a lot of the content that I write in my captions or on social media. Okay, other questions. If there's any other questions coming in, go ahead and put them in Q&A. It's just easier for us to follow. I love all the ideas that are coming through the chat that you all are sharing with each other. So I don't know if I see any other questions directly. Let's see if there was anything earlier. Uploading photos to the platforms. I know I didn't show that in my demos today, but each of the platforms is actually really simple. They will probably at some point request to access your photos. Say yes. There's no risk in having them access your photos. I would go to marketing imagery, download any of the images that you want to use for marketing imagery, have them on my phone, so that when you open apps on your phone, they're accessing it directly from your albums, okay? So that's just like the easiest way that I've learned to do it. Again, many of you have developed time-saving tips and techniques that might even be better than what I'm sharing today, but that's my quick tip. All right. One question from Jen Zimmerman, can you add PC marketing images to WordSwag? Yes, you can upload images to WordSwag as well. So if you wanted to, put one of the marketing imagery images in the background of WordSwag, you can absolutely do that. New to working my business page, it doesn't seem like as many people see posts on my business page as they do my personal page. Is that just my impression, or is that true, and what can I do? Depends on how many people are following you on your business page, right? You build a network. Sometimes when you start a business page, your network might be smaller. And so the algorithm generally on social media channels is the more that people engage with you, the more people see what you share, right? It's all about those views, those impressions, and those clicks. So if you start a business page and you had been running your business from a personal page for a long time, it will take time, right? It will take time to start to develop what Facebook views as like good standing on a business page. So again, most of these efforts as it relates to social media often do take time. It takes time to build your network. It takes time to build a business.
And one tip I can add here that I've seen some consultants have success on their business pages is remember that videos and going live is really a great way to boost that engagement on your business page. I know that some consultants will actually do something where they will say, hey, vote for the recipe you want me to make this week, or vote for a product you want me to show you how to use this week. And so especially if you're getting your guests engaged, your customers engaged on your business page and they have like a voice and a say, I think that's going to help with getting those views.
Yeah. Great tip, Jackie. A couple other questions coming in. Once pictures are in your album, do they save automatically after saving? Depends on the app. If you hit the save button, I think all the ones I showed you, as soon as you export or save, they will go directly to your phone. Other apps are different, so it really does depend on the app that you're using. Is it saving directly into your phone album? Depends on the app. So just, I would say, test it out the first time. Don't go in and do 20 images and then realize they're not saving where you thought they were, so definitely test it out the first time. For WordSwag, someone's saying they're being asked to pay. WordSwag, search one word, not two words. WordSwag is one word, and you should be able to download it without paying. Okay, some comments on the marketing calendar. I mentioned this earlier on the chat, but that seasonal marketing calendar, many of you access that seasonal resource guide from Consultants Corner. There is a link to this marketing calendar in that seasonal resource guide. So every season, we will be sharing a 6-month view of what's coming up, and you should always be able to access that from the seasonal resource guide. It's also shared on the STIR News site. You can do a quick search. And within marketing imagery. Okay, are there any restrictions to what you can and cannot use on Facebook as corporate office goes? I'm not sure I understand that question specifically. There are always guidelines, best practices on what you can and can't share. In terms of the images that we provide within marketing imagery, those home office images, those are for you. That is for you to help you run your business. So anything that we're sharing in marketing imagery, that's where we said, where do you start? Start with marketing imagery. We have all of the products that you might want to share, recipe images, other things to promote your business. You can use them directly as they are, or using editing apps like we talked about today, you can customize them so that they feel a little bit more like you and a little bit more like your brand. Okay? Let's see, Jackie, any other questions here?
I know there's a question that just came up. Is there a way to download all in marketing imagery?
Not yet. We are working on it. We've heard the ability to download more of what you see in marketing imagery. How can you do batch downloads? hearing you loud and clear. We definitely see that as an opportunity to help improve the time you're spending. So we've heard you. So as of today, not yet, but we certainly know that that's a pain point for you all that we're addressing. If you create a business account on Instagram, here's a question that came in from Holly. How do you keep the personal touch, like your family and et cetera, to come through and build relationships? I think this is a really good question. So there really are very few differences between the functional aspects of an Instagram personal account or an Instagram business page. The only difference is that an Instagram business page, well, it's not the only difference, but the main difference is that an Instagram business, I think they call it a business account, is public, and you cannot make it private. So keep that in mind. Whatever you're sharing on a business account or really on your Facebook business page is public information, right? So that it's good in that even if someone goes to Google and they want to search you and you had a post about something Pampered Chef, they might be able to even find you in a Google search. Great, that's what you want. You're promoting a business. But you can't, but if you want to keep your personal life more personal, that's what your personal page, your personal profile, a personal Instagram profile is for. Can you have more of like a personal feel and a personal touch on a business profile? And I absolutely think you can. That's where that building a brand comes in. If I were to have an Instagram account where I'm talking about getting food on the dinner table for my kids, I would certainly probably feature my kids, but not all the time, right? My personal profile on Instagram, if you go to it, it's literally just pictures of my kids eating suckers and riding ponies and stuff like that. That's not building a business. But if I'm being authentic and true to myself in terms of my purpose and what I'm trying to do with my business profile, there would be a mix of my real life in there as well as what I'm providing to my customers. Before you post anything, before you develop an image, before you do anything, ask yourself one question. What value does this bring to the people following me? On your personal profiles, the value you're bringing is that you're updating them on your life. You're sharing a cute picture of your kids because they love your kids and they want to see pictures of your kids. On your business page, you have to think about the people following you, what value your post is going to bring them, right? Do they want to learn something from you? Sure, a picture of your kid might be cute, but I think what's more important is that they want to know how you made that quick homemade mac and cheese for your kids with that great, microwave pasta cooker, as opposed to just a cute picture of your kid eating mac and cheese. So it's always important on social media when you're sharing, especially on these from a social selling and recruiting point of view, to think through what the value is that you're providing to your followers. All right. Time for one more question, maybe.
Look at Susie's already working.
Susie already made a Canva Facebook post, saving to her camera roll, fun. Some of you are probably playing with that. Do you have to accept everyone to follow you on Instagram? That's the last question I'll answer. No, not if you have a business account. On business accounts, people can just follow you and you don't have to approve them. If you have a personal account that's private, then you do. So that's, again, one of the differences between a personal account and a professional account. So Jackie and I shared a lot today. Jackie, in terms of replay or how they'd be able to access this afterwards, you want to repeat that for anyone who missed it?
Yeah, it should be, if you registered for this webinar, you should get a replay afterwards. We'll have this webinar again at 8 p.m. It is something we don't place these webinars in another place, so if you know of anyone on your team or a peer that you think that would benefit from this, just tell them, like, hey, go register for the 8 p.m. webinar. And then whether they can come or they get the recording, that's the best way to get it.
Yep, perfect. Well, thank you all for spending an hour with us today. I know we got started a little late with these technical issues here, but I hope you got some ideas. I encourage you all to get out there, be your authentic selves, and see what it can do for your business. Okay? Thank you, everybody.